So it's like this full state operation that exists outside of the American justice system. Is this what you found in your book?
Yeah. It's a parallel structure, and it's an intrusion in our sovereignty. I mean, imagine if we had American members of Congress and U.S. senators who lived in Canada, and their job was to represent Americans in Canada. Canada would not tolerate that for a second, and yet we are allowing Mexico to do that. You mentioned China. China is doing similar things, not only the infrastructure that you talked about, but they've created an industrial scale model to exploit birthright citizenship in this country. You know, birthright citizenship, Supreme Court is going to hear the case. Somebody is in the United States at the time, they give birth, that child is automatically given U.S. citizenship. Our federal government, Benny, has zero idea how many people have been born this way in the country because we don't keep records. If you get a birth certificate that your child is born in the United States, which makes them a citizen, we don't list the national origin or the citizenship of the parents. So our federal government has no idea. The Chinese government has actually looked into this because the Chinese government encourages members of the Chinese elite to do this in the United States. And the numbers that they come up with are absolutely stunning. And it's another example of this immigration subversion. The Chinese government believes that for every year over the last 13 years, roughly 100,000 Chinese nationals a year have been born in the United States. They are then taken back to China. So think about this. You're looking at more than 1 million U.S. citizens. I'm going to put that in air quotes. They are U.S. citizens, according to this claim about birthright citizenship, but they're being raised in China. They're going to CCP schools. They are members of the elite. Their parents are military officers, intelligence officers, propagandists for the CCP. When they turn 18, Benny, they're going to be able to vote. They're going to be able to donate to political campaigns. They're going to be able to get government jobs. They're going to be able to do a whole host of things. Keep that in mind, more than 1 million when the 2016 election with Hillary Clinton was settled by 80,000 votes. So China's doing this in a different way than Mexico, but it's very, very similar in their goal, which is to chip away at our sovereignty and to wage what I argue is civilizational warfare on the United States.
You just blew my mind, Peter. That's exactly how you would do it. If you wanted to hack our idiotic systems, which of course birthright citizenship is one of the dumbest rules in place. It was never intended to mean any pregnant person just has an American randomly. It doesn't work in any other country that way. Where if you're pregnant and you just happen to be in France, then your kid's French. It's so stupid. It's so arcane. And this is exactly how you would hack it. You see the article here. And now they're able to get welfare benefits. You would be able to get all of the benefits of an American citizen, and then you're able to vote straight from China. That's just crazy, man. Have you seen is this like the largest scale election fraud hack that you've seen? Do you cover that in the book? Is this like how China is hacking our elections using this as like biological warfare?
Yeah, no, great question, Benny. Yeah, that is a major component of it. And the first wave of this is going to start cresting in 2030. That's when we're first going to see the tip of this more than 1 million Chinese nationals. They're doing something else, Benny, too, and that is they're exploiting something called the EB-5 visa program. This is a program that was started in 1990. It was developed into law by Congress. It was passed. It was signed by George H.W. Bush. We now know, by the way, that the person that pushed for this EB-5 visa program was a Chinese national named Maria Tsai, who was later outed as a spy. So that means one of our key visa programs was created by a Chinese spy. What the EB-5 visa program does, it says if you invest $1 million in the United States and you create a certain number of jobs, you get permanent resident status in the United States. All right. Interesting idea theoretically. The problem is the Chinese, to use your words accurately, have hacked this as well. So more than 90% of the people going through the EB-5 visa program are Chinese nationals from the entire planet. And here's the thing. They get permanent resident status, but they brag on Chinese social media that they never live here. They remain in China. They're part of the Chinese elite. They now have permanent resident status in America, but they're never here. So why do we care? It matters, and we should care because permanent residents of the United States, whether you live here or not, can donate to political campaigns. And there's literally tens of millions of dollars from these Chinese nationals that are flooding legally into our political campaigns. And it will not surprise you and probably your audience that those donations break 80-20, 90-10 Democrat, Republican. So this is another example of how they are hacking our political campaigns, because we believe that immigration is the same way it was 100 years ago, when people are just sort of coming here. They want to be part of the American dream. They want to immigrate. They want to assimilate. No, it's been weaponized by these foreign actors, and China is particularly effective at doing so.
Because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.